If you found your way to this video, you want to lean bulk. I'm not going to waste any of your time. I'm going to get straight to the point. You are probably one of these two archetypes right here. You're either skinny fat or skinny and are afraid of getting fat. And your goal is to put on as much muscle mass as you possibly can. Now, before I transition us to the screen, I need to make one thing clear. You must clearly outline your goal. I cannot do that for you. You need to outline exactly when you want to achieve said goal. If you don't do this first, this video will not help you. Let's jump right into it. I'm going to shoot for less than 10 minutes. I'm going to put chapters at the bottom, and you should check the description if you want any further information on what I do. I'm going to show you how to eat so you don't gain any extra fat. So I'm going to break down how you should be training during this period to maximize growth. And number 3, I'm going to break down what I did for all of my clients and me in order to gain strength, gain size, and effectively lean bulk. And without keeping it any longer, let's get right into the video. I'm going to be right here in the bottom of the screen while I break down everything so you can get a full view. If you're a visual learner, you're welcome. The first and most important step is to outline exactly how many calories you should be eating. I'm not going to waste your time with this video. I'm getting right into the nitty gritty. This is by far the most important number. Now, if you check my other cutting video on my page, I break down how to find your cutting number, which is below your maintenance. If you are trying to lean bulk effectively, you need to find just above where your maintenance is. This means you want a surplus of exactly 250 to 350 calories. This is the sweet spot. It may not seem like a lot, but it's enough to grow and just enough to minimize fat gain. I've actually tried this with over 1,000 clients. It seems to be that this is the most effective number for a long-term lean bulk if you want to increase strength and size while not losing that six-pack. So what I want you to do is take your body weight and multiply it by 15. And then I want you to add on 250 on top of that for that little extra surplus. This is a great way to skip all the crazy calculations and just find your total daily energy expenditure, adding 250 on top of that to maintain that slight lean bulk. Done. I don't want to waste any more time. We got that out of the way. Let's keep this video under 10 minutes. Let's go. Step 2 is how many grams of protein should you actually be eating on a lean bulk? Now, in order to find how many grams of protein you should be eating, the optimal range is about 1 gram of protein per 1.6 to 2.2 kilograms. But we're not trying to be average here. We're trying to be great. So I highly recommend at least 1 gram of protein per pound of your goal body weight, or an easier way to do this is just 1.2 grams of protein per pound that you weigh. Now you've got the calories and the protein covered. This is very simple. If you want a good list of foods to eat that have a super high amount of protein and are not too crazy calorie dense, here's a list on screen that I'm going to give you for free. This is entirely free. I'm not charging you for anything. I'm not trying to sell you anything. This is a list that I use and I give my clients too. There's certain foods you want to pick that don't go overboard on the calories, but also supply a super high amount of protein and energy for your lifts. The next step is very simple. We're going right into cardio. Yes, you should still be doing cardio on a lean bulk, believe it or not. We need to keep it light and we need to keep it strategic. So I recommend the sweet spot is around 2 to 3 times a week of light cardio. This ensures that you're most likely not in a crazy surplus throughout the week on a 7-day basis, but it's also not going to eat away at your hard-earned gains. I personally like to do incline walking or something like hiking. Sometimes I even do a little light jog on the beach, but definitely nothing crazy intense. I definitely try to stay away from 5-on-5 basketball or anything like sprinting on a lean bulk. This ensures that you're in your zone 2 level of cardio, ensures fat loss, and your body prioritizing fat as fuel, which is what we want. We do not want fat on this bulk. We want to stay lean. We want to get jacked. So 2 to 3 times a week is the way to go. If you're running 5 miles a day, you're not bulking, you are just self-sabotaging. The second and last thing I want to talk about is how to train on a lean bulk. Yes, it actually differs from how you train at maintenance or in a cut. You're not going to grow just by eating more. You need to change the way you're lifting too. You need to use this extra energy efficiently and lift as heavy as you possibly can. You must push hard and push your progressive overload numbers all the way to the max. This is just going to ensure that when you do eventually cut off this lean bulk, that you have some strength left over and you've built a quality foundation to do the cut. I'd recommend sticking to a proven split. Push-pull legs upper lower. It works for everybody. It's just enough rest to ensure that you are not maximizing your fatigue. Make sure you are tracking your lift numbers and you are pushing strength within the 6 to 10 rep range. That is the most concise way that I can put it. Each person is going to be at a different part of their journey and need and require different things, but this is just the average advice for the person watching this video. You will succeed following this advice. One of the last things I also want to talk about, being easy to eat meals. Why is this so important? Do not try to lean bulk on dry chicken breast and rice and green beans. It will not be sustainable for you. You want to eat meals that digest easily, especially if you are a hard gainer or someone that struggles to put on size. Foods that are calorie dense like the ones I gave you on the list, but also digest easily. So you want to make sure your fiber intake is quite high. Rice, oats, whole fruits, veggies, eggs, simple carbs like tortillas. These are real foods that fuel growth that also aren't very hard to digest. If you're eating a crap ton of pork with a ton of fat and then you're mixing that with a shake, it's about 3,000 calories. Of course, you're not going to be able to maintain that on a bulk. Your stomach will be asking for help. You'll be grabbing that toilet like you just left Taco Bell. The very last thing, and this is the most important part, is tracking your weight. And I don't just mean body weight. You should also be tracking the strength on your lifts. The surefire way to know if your lean bulk is working is if you are gaining 0.25 pounds to 0.5 pounds of body weight per week. Any more and you're most likely putting on stubborn fat. If you are not gaining anything after 3 weeks of doing this, add 100 calories into the mix and reassess. Also want to focus on how effectively you're actually tracking your food, because we could not be tracking sauces, calories from drinks, toppings, fried foods, butter that you use to cook. All of these things come into play. When you're cutting, those are super important so that you don't get in extra calories. But when you're lean bulking, these are even more important, because you're not getting in as many calories as you think, and then you're wondering why you're not making progress. The one thing about a lean bulk, do not try to guess. There should be no guessing. If you want precise results, you need to have precise systems. A hard bulk and a hard cut are not very precise. You can eyeball those and just starve yourself or eat a crap ton. But with a lean bulk, simple, precise, and persistent effort needs to be the key. You must train, eat, and weigh yourself with intent. Now, I've done this here with clients up top that I'm going to show you. They have all effectively completed their lean bulks or are in the current process of doing so. Now, of course, the framework I just gave you will work, but the real key is implementation. I gave them these frameworks. They knew all the information that was in this video before they started, but it wasn't until they actually were able to implement it with me that it started to work. If I gave you the blueprint to start a $1 billion business, but I didn't outline how actually to implement those steps and when, I highly doubt that you do it. So if you are tired of spinning your wheels, either bulking too far or cutting too steep, and you want a surefire way to guarantee that you hit the goals that you set for yourself, you can do one of two things. You can continue doing what you're doing right now and not change anything, and I can guarantee you in 6 months, there will be no change in your physique, or you can stick a rock in the river and change the current. Make a change now, a drastic one. If you simply put your mind to it and decide that this is the year you actually stick with the lean bulk, you will do it. If you're looking to effectively implement the framework that I've given you, you can shortcut this whole process and let me build you a custom training program, fully customized to your weight, experience, and goals, and a custom lean bulking meal plan that will ensure that you will reach your goals and you will stop repeating the cycle of bulking too far, cutting just too short. The link is in the description. You're one booked call away from actually achieving the goals that you want to achieve. If you want any more free help on Instagram, DM me the word bulk and I'll be able to help you out for free. You can also click the link on my landing page in the description, which will give you more information about me as a coach. But with all three of these options, do not wait. Your results start the second you decide to move. And last but not least, thank you for watching this free lean bulking guide. This is the stuff that I wish I knew when I first started. Save this video in your watch later, send it to your friends, or screenshot the advice that I gave you in this video to ensure that your next lean bulk is a successful one. Thank you guys, and have the best week ever.